In 1639, Japan made a decision no country had ever made. They closed their borders completely. No foreigners in, no Japanese out. The policy was called sakoku. The goal: control religion, control weapons. For more than 200 years, Japan stayed isolated from the world. In 1853, American warships forced the country open. Isolation shaped Japan. Opening it changed everything.
The new ruling order faced a dilemma without a clean solution. Foreign trade strengthened the economy. Firearms strengthened armies, but Christianity undermined traditional authority. Japanese society was built on hierarchy, obligation, and loyalty. Christian converts pledged allegiance to a god beyond the state. Missionaries answered to foreign powers. European empires had a pattern: trade first, control later. News of colonial expansion elsewhere reached Japan. Examples were clear. Religious influence preceded political domination. At the same time, banning foreign contact outright risked economic collapse. Ports depended on trade. Silver exports fueled regional commerce. Isolation could destabilize the fragile peace. Doing nothing was also dangerous. Foreign influence was growing. Religious networks crossed regional borders. The state could not fully monitor them. Every option carried risk. The question was no longer whether Japan would change, it was how much uncertainty the rulers were willing to tolerate.
The decision unfolded gradually, then all at once. First came restrictions. Missionaries were expelled. Christianity was banned. Believers were forced to renounce their faith publicly. Then came control of movement. Japanese citizens were forbidden from leaving the country. Those who left were barred from returning. Foreign traders were expelled one by one. Only a small number were permitted to remain under strict supervision. All others were removed. Ports were closed. Borders hardened. Foreign contact was reduced to tightly regulated channels. This policy became known as sakoku, closed country. Japan did not retreat into chaos. It retreated into order. The outside world was not destroyed, it was sealed off. The effects were immediate and visible. Foreign ships disappeared from Japanese harbors. Missionaries vanished from public life. Christian communities were dismantled or driven underground. Trade narrowed dramatically. Only limited commerce was allowed through designated ports. Foreign merchants lived under constant surveillance. Internally, the state gained clarity. Loyalty could be enforced without competing belief systems. Power flowed in a single direction. Peace held. Without foreign alliances or external arms races, internal conflicts declined. The ruling system stabilized. But knowledge slowed. Scientific developments abroad passed Japan by. New navigation techniques, industrial methods, and political ideas accumulated elsewhere. Japan remained informed, but selectively. Information entered slowly, filtered, translated, and controlled. The country did not stop moving. It chose to move alone.
For more than 2 centuries, Japan remained closed. During that time, Europe transformed. Empires expanded. Industrialization reshaped economies. Military technology accelerated. Japan followed a different path. Its cities grew orderly. Literacy increased. Arts and craftsmanship flourished. Social stability became the defining feature of the era. Isolation preserved internal balance. No foreign wars drained resources. No colonial domination reshaped institutions. But the cost accumulated quietly. Industrial capacity lagged. Naval technology fell behind. Military parity with global powers eroded. When foreign ships finally returned, they did not come as traders. They came as enforcers. The world Japan had sealed out had changed beyond recognition.
When Japan reopened in the 19th century, it did so under pressure. The balance of power was no longer negotiable.
Isolation could not be restored. The world had become too interconnected, too armed, too fast. The closure had preserved Japan. It had also delayed it. What followed was one of the most rapid transformations in modern history. Institutions were rebuilt, technology was imported at scale, society reorganized itself to survive in a new global order. But the decision to close the world remained foundational. It bought time, it enforced unity, it shaped a national instinct for control, discipline, and adaptation. Japan did not isolate itself forever, but it isolated itself long enough to choose how it would return. After that, the country was never the same.